How to improve your EQ. Improving your emotional intelligence quotient, or EQ, requires that you recognize and understand your emotions, as well as those of others. You also need to understand the powerful effects that your emotions can have, and then make use of that information to guide your thinking and behavior. There are several ways by which we can improve our EQ. According to Professors David R. Caruso and Peter Salovey in their groundbreaking research and publication, The Emotionally Intelligent Manager, 4 core skills are necessary for developing emotional intelligence. They include 1. Identifying your feelings and those of others. 2. Using those feelings to guide your own thinking and reasoning, along with others. 3. Understanding that feelings may change as events evolve. 4. Staying open and aware of emotions and integrating this into choices and actions. Emotional intelligence helps to boost your performance both in your personal and professional life. By becoming more emotionally conscious, you grow and gain an in-depth understanding of yourself and your abilities. Fortunately for us, unlike IQ, which basically stays the same all through a person's lifetime, EQ can be learned and cultivated. Your EQ can evolve and increase, but you have to do the work to see this positive change. Regardless of whatever stage you may be in life at present, you can always improve your EQ and develop your self-awareness and empathy. There are several ways by which you can improve your EQ. Some of these ways only require practicing some simple strategies. Here you'll find a short list of strategies to get you started strengthening your EQ today. Get to know your feelings. In today's fast-paced world with so many commitments, deadlines, and to-dos all jostling for our attention, it is easy for us to lose touch with our emotions. When this happens, we are likely to act irrationally, which means missing out on the significant messages our emotions can tell us. To avoid losing out on such valuable information, start consciously taking note of what your emotion is trying to tell you, stopping yourself before you react. By paying attention to your feelings, you can learn to trust them. You have to be able to do those 2 things before you can manage them. What triggers difficult emotions, such as anger, frustration, and resentment? Becoming aware of your triggers and the emotions that follow, you alter the way you respond to future situations. In practical terms, you can do a self-evaluation to identify how your emotions affect you physically in your body and what the sensation feels like. This can be done by setting a timer at different intervals during the day and taking a few deep breaths each time the alarm goes off. Try to notice how you're feeling emotionally at each interval. As you continue to practice this, you will grow in self-awareness and mastering of your emotions. Catch your negative self-talk. We all have an inner critic who likes to take center stage. You may never be able to quiet yours completely, but improving your EQ will demand that you begin to notice when it tends to whisper in your ear. When negative self-talk takes over in your mind, it can be challenging to bring a stop to its chatter. To begin silencing yours, start paying attention to the little voice in your head. When does it start nagging you? What are the triggers that get your inner critic on a roll of negativity? Once you start to notice the patterns, you'll be able to shut it down faster, until you rarely have to deal with it at all. Be mindful of your behavior. Besides becoming aware of your emotions, you also need to pay close attention to your behavior if you truly want to be successful at improving your EQ. Take note of how you act when you're experiencing certain emotions and how those actions affect your daily life. Is your behavior negatively impacting your communication with others? A certain person? Does it affect your productivity? Peace of mind? If you answered yes to any of the above listed questions, then it is a clear sign that you need to begin working on your behavior. Also, as you consciously become aware of how you are reacting to your emotions, notice any tendency to judge yourself harshly. Work on cutting yourself some slack and learning from the way you deal with your emotions when you don't handle a situation the way you would have liked. Then take that new understanding of yourself into future situations. Developing your EQ is a learning process that will take time, and you will make mistakes. Be kind to yourself. Take responsibility for yourself. Being aware of your emotions and getting to understand your behavior is pointless if you are not willing to take responsibility for them. To improve your emotional intelligence, you must recognize that you are the only person responsible for your reaction to how you feel and behave, not anybody else. If someone says or does something that upsets you and you immediately flare up at them, you're totally responsible for that. The person may be responsible for triggering the feeling, but your reaction is solely your responsibility, and you have to take full control of that. How you feel at any point in time is also your responsibility. You can take valuable cues from your feelings with respects to your needs and preferences, as well as with the experience of others. The moment you begin taking full responsibility for both your feelings and behavior, you will notice a significant improvement in the quality of your life, as well as your emotional intelligence. Respond, don't overreact. To further improve your emotional intelligence, you need to master the ability to remain calm and manage stress consciously. How you handle stressful situations can make all the difference between being responsive versus being reactive. To get efficient at this, you need to recognize the difference between responding and reacting. Reacting is an unconscious process that is triggered by an emotion and is usually characterized by harsh, uncontrolled language and actions. It causes us to unconsciously express or relieve that emotion by acting out when we experience stress or a negative situation. Responding, on the other hand, is a conscious process that deals with becoming aware of your feelings and then deciding how you will express them. A person who reacts will grouse at anyone who interrupts him when he is irritated. But a person who is responsive will pause before grouching and chose not to allow his annoyance to be taken out on someone else. Instead, he would take the time to calmly explain that it isn't a good time to speak with them. Practice compassion. Practicing compassion towards yourself and others will also help to improve your emotional intelligence. It basically involves being able to understand why someone feels a certain way and communicating in a way that shows you understand how they feel about them. You can begin practicing empathy by starting with yourself first and asking yourself questions relating to why you feel the way you do. Even simple actions like taking a break when you need it will build more self-compassion. By regularly monitoring your feelings and behavior as you experience them, you will find it easier to be compassionate towards yourself. This will naturally lead to becoming more kind to others as well. Create a positive environment. While making an effort to practice self-awareness, self-responsibility, and self-compassion, it is also important to create some time to reflect on the good things that are happening in your life. Being grateful and celebrating the positives in your life will not only make you a happier person, but it will raise your EQ. After practicing more gratitude, you'll find it easier to see the positives in even difficult situations. It will become a habit to find positive solutions to challenges. People who spend some time to reflect on the positive things in their lives are generally more resilient and motivated to do more. They are also more likely to have fulfilling relationships, an invaluable resource that helps them survive when adversity strikes. A positive environment will also help in improving the quality of your life as well as the lives of people that associate themselves with you. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Improving your emotional intelligence is not a day's job. It isn't something that you just develop and then abandon. It is a lifetime practice and must be continuously developed in order to gain the full benefits it offers. There's no way you can improve your EQ overnight, but that's okay. It's definitely worth the time and attention to cultivating it. There are many aspects of emotional intelligence that you will want to practice and develop. While you're doing that, remember to continue to practice kindness towards yourself. Slip-ups will happen, but with practice, you'll consistently improve. Conclusion. Emotional intelligence measures your ability to perceive your own emotions as well as those of others. Fortunately, even if you weren't naturally born with a high EQ, you will be able to manage your emotions productively and healthily with some practice. A well-developed EQ will bring huge benefits to your personal and professional life. Here are the top 10 things to remember from this video series as you move into your journey of cultivating your EQ. 1. Emotional intelligence does not have any identified connection to a person's IQ, and it cannot be predicted based on how smart someone is. Anyone can improve their EQ. 2. Cultivating EQ will take time and practice. Rather than get frustrated with yourself when you act or speak in a non-beneficial way, remember that this is a skill you are developing over a lifetime. 3. Emotional intelligence revolves around 4 core skills, and these skills are paired up under 2 primary competencies: personal competence and social competence. Personal competence includes your self-awareness and self-management skills. Social competence, on the other hand, comprises of your social awareness and relationship management skills. 4. Emotional intelligence is the best predictor of performance when compared to other types of intelligence and workplace skills. Developing your EQ is one of the best ways to move up in your chosen career field and to experience more success. 5. Emotionally intelligent individuals earn more money than their counterparts who have a lower one. Also, a person's earnings increases in direct proportion to the person's degree of emotional intelligence. 6. Emotionally intelligent people are excellent decision makers. They know when to trust their intuition, take criticism well, and know when to use it to improve their performance. 7. 5 fundamental elements help define emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. 8. Emotional intelligence will benefit your work life, but will also be helpful in your personal life. Those with a high EQ enjoy meaningful, long-term relationships and overall happier life. So don't leave your EQ at the door when you head out of the office. 9. There are several reasons why EQ is considered to be very important, and they are because it helps in the following areas: balanced life, physical health, mental well-being, relationships, conflict resolution, success, and leadership. 10. Today's employers look for 5 major pillars when hiring new employees. They are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and people skills. If you have enjoyed this 3-part video series, leave a comment and please share it with somebody you know, because we don't always know if or when someone we know is having a good day or a really bad day, and your thoughtfulness might arrive just at the right time to help. Thank you.